like the Curry, Steph and Aisha. But we more like Belly, Tommy and Keisha. Gave you TLC, you wanna creep and poured out my whole heart to a piece of shit. Man, I thought you would've learned your lesson. Bow, liking pictures, not returning texts. I guess it's fine, man, I get the message.
MYFA Radio.
Certain questions, you keep in contact with certain exes. Do you though? Trust me, it's cool though. Said that you was working, but you out here chasing.
Big shout out, I got my man G, Coach G with me checking in.
What's up, everybody?
Yo, it's been a minute, G. It's been a real minute.
Yeah, long off season.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen. We gonna get on the Facebook and get the people here, man. It's the first show back. I know a whole bunch of people probably, trying to get it back so they can find out how to tune in. But listen, we're back, and we gonna have fun. We gonna talk about it today. Big shouts out to all the coaches and the parents, man, for your 2018 season. And hey, man, look, it's football season, but we got a lot to talk about, a lot to go over, a lot to clarify. Got a call, G? Got a call? Hey, man, it is what it is. So, G, man, you done went from the big boys down to 6U. How's that, man?
You gotta have a lot of patience.
Okay.
Less stress, though. There's less stress.
Okay.
The babies are the most important age groups in any program.
Right.
That's the foundation of your program.
Right. So, I mean, coming from the big boys, man, and I coached big boys for years. And, you come from being able to, little boy, get over there and run the play. Right. To, look, pay attention.
Yeah.
Stop playing in the grass. Crying. Where's mother at? Where's father at? You know what I'm saying? So, you got to change up a little bit your style. And to me, that's a true coach, man. When you can go from the big boys, and everybody out here, I know my coaches feel me, when you can go from the big boys to the little boys, man, because your style has to totally change. You've got to, put the offense down a little bit so where they can understand it. It might be Spider-Man or SpongeBob or something they can identify with.
Yeah,
you can't just, go with the regular offense. You got to be able to dumb it down. Not that the kids are done, but, you got to be able to put it down, man. And that's a true sign of a coach when you can change it all up a little bit.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Like I said, it's less stress. I'm really enjoying it. This is my 21st year coaching.
Right.
And
21 years.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big G, man.
Yeah.
Hey, if you out there, man, anybody in there, you need to let us know you're listening. Remember, we got the boards. Come on to the boards, man. Get the chat boards rocking. Me and G in here monitoring. Waiting on Jody to get here. And we got Lil G in here with us. 6U phenom. Running the rock, man. Been running the rock since flag. As soon as Jody get here, man, I guess the trash talk can start. Start talking, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. We're gonna talk about the lock. We're gonna talk about up next in this fiascopade with the rules with MYFA. We're gonna talk about Middle River and the UC, UIFL teams coming to MYFA, man, and are they gonna be upset? Are they gonna, see, hey, look, it's coaching over here, whatever. And I know Jody has a lot to talk about, too. He wants to talk about, he calls it not 11U, but the Bearcats 11U, he calls it Sorrel U. So, Eric Sorrel, if you're listening, man, definitely tune in. Let us know what it is. And we're going to have some fun here real quick here. I got to get back into this, Gary. It's just been a while, man.
Yeah.
I got to get my commercials up and all of that stuff. And we waiting on Jody, man. But give us a few seconds. We'll be right back. We're going to let the music rock. Give us about 3 minutes and we'll be right back. NYSD Radio. Holla. Jody just walked in.
Just walked in.
So you know what it's going to be.
Yeah,
Kusa is hitting me up already, talking about we going live in the room. I said, there's no video here. It's just radio. We leave the TV stuff to him right now.
Yeah, he's the king.
Yeah, he's the king of...
Him and KK have started something that's...
Keith King?
Yes, sir. I enjoy it, man, because, you know, they put people on the spot.
Yeah, they do.
Bam. And brothers get on there smiling with yellow teeth and be like...
Hey, man.
And everybody got a lie to tell first thing in the morning.
Jody, we got a lot to talk about.
Hey.
A lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. We're going to talk about what happened to the lock. We're going to talk about up next, kicked out.
Oh, what happened to the lock? All they did was folded their sheets.
There you go. There you go. We're going to talk about Middle River is too much for the UC. And then we're going to talk about the UIFL teams coming to MYFA. Our little man talking a whole bunch of trash, but I
don't even talk no more.
I think he dropped one.
He's Silence of the Lamb.
Woo, Silence of the Lamb. So it is what it is, man. But it's NYST Radio. We're back. It's been a long time coming. 2018 football season, man. Shout out to all the parents and coaches doing your thing. But I want to say this before we get started. I think, go ahead, grab a water there, Jody. We got a lot to talk about here. So I think we forget what we do this for.
The kids.
And a lot of coaches I've seen over the last year, football has become a soap opera. And they really forget that it's about the kids. Not about them, about the kids. Okay? I looked at what you said yesterday on the board. You give somebody a whistle and a clipboard.
Well, that was Sean Fisher. He said,
and Sean said, that's not a coach.
No.
You know what I mean?
If you're not going out getting an education from clinics, which to me the Glacier Clinic is like the worst clinic for youth coaches.
Stand on your craft.
If you're not learning your craft, okay, you get guys that learn an offense in a month and want to run it with their kids,
and you haven't perfected it yet.
You haven't. Listen, I've been around guys that on day one want to run 20 plays, but yet haven't conditioned their kids.
Right.
We got to get back into the small things of youth football.
Okay.
Which is coaches getting educated. Once you get educated, you teach your children.
Right.
Don't go above and beyond thinking who you are. This is not a... The funniest thing I see is when these guys get into the arguments with the parents.
Right.
Coach your team. Coaches, we got to have discipline when we on or behind that rope.
Right.
Don't argue with parents. If you're getting blown out, hey, you just got blown the hell out.
Right. That's what it is.
But if you're teaching your kids the proper way to play football, they're going to get recognized by a high school.
Well, here's the thing. I think we've gotten the parents actually into this thing of winning. And everybody likes to win. But I think the parents have actually got into the trophy chasing, if you will.
Okay, Donald, is it the fact that the parents got into winning, or parents are looking for a way out of their situation later on?
I mean, well, I don't know about that, because only 1% will make it.
But see, parents don't understand the math.
Okay.
You know, you can say trophy chasing, but you got parents that cry and complain when their child ain't a running back.
Wait a minute now. Kusa is saying that he don't. Kusa, let me just see here.
What, he can't hear the show?
He can't hear the show. He talking about, he just sent me a thing. MYST on Spreaker. Well, it's still under. Let me see here. Let me see what it's under here. No, it's NYST Radio. Let me send Kusa this thing back here, because I don't think he know what he's doing. He don't know what he's doing.
He from Cherry Hill. That might be the problem.
He don't know what he's doing, man.
He found his thrill in Cherry Hill.
Yo said that, man. Yo said I found my thrill.
I found mine in Cherry Hill one time, but it was a hot thrill.
This cat is funny, man. Hold on, let me hit Kusa back here, man. Because we need the man in here, man. His morning show is definitely helping you football out. It gives you a laugh. during the daytime.
But it also give you an insight to what's going on around the state of Maryland and other states also, because Coos will be on his game.
Yeah, he does. I'll have to give it to him.
And he pull brothers out.
Right.
Don't bite his tongue. You know, so that's top notch.
All right. Marcus Rose is on. Whoa, what up, Big Marcus? Checking out my man. Chilling. Marcus Rose, Baltimore Terps. And, man, we thank our people who've always followed us there, man. We are back. We're going to talk about it there, and it is what it is, man. But let's kick it off. Let's go with the up next thing first. We're going to talk about up next.
Oh, wow.
And so here's the deal. So every program, every league, everything or organization has to have rules, okay? Right. And, I talked about this when I was the rules guy for MYFA a couple of years ago, man. You have to have rules. So my understanding of the thing is that MYFA had a rule, and I agree. Now, I'm going to talk about Kwesi for a minute from the Baltimore Terps. I don't see eye to eye with the guy all the time, but he was right about this. You cannot have a league with just one team coming in. You can't do it. That's not a league. All right?
Right.
You have to have quality programs. And now it's all about the kids, but adults have to understand in order to make the best experience for the kids is that you have to have this thing right. So they said, hey, up next had maybe one or two age groups, and we can't let you in unless you have the core age group so that the experience for everybody can be fine. All right? Up Next did not have that, so they hooked up with the MSA, whatever, Seminoles, which is a team from Southwest Baltimore.
Right.
Okay, and that's what happened. Now, MYFA is trying to grow. MYFA is trying to put a better product out, and there was this goes all the way back to the Middle River thing, whether we're going to go core 4, core 6, or whatever. Check it out, Eric Sorrell. Yo, what up?
What's up,
my man Andrew Marion from the Terps? Everybody's checking in with
Eric Sorrell, bubblehead. Yo,
are we talking about Sorrell? We're going to talk about that later.
Sorrell, it ain't 11U. It's Sorrell.
Will Stewart. Guess who's checking in? Big Damon Hayes. Damon, text me and I'll send it around to you.
Angry man.
Text me, Damon. So you have to have rules and regulations. They told Up Next you can't. They hooked up with the Seminoles, and bam, after that, they had a program.
Right.
So the Seminoles, from my understanding, the Up Next crew came from the Terps. Let's just keep it real.
Right.
They kept the Terps colors. All right. This is youth football. Nobody owns anything.
Right.
But he did keep those colors or whatever and went on to do his thing. All right. So there's a lot of people that have. When I was at Locke, Damon said he's not angry at all. Kusa checking in with us. The Morning Show, man. He's here right now. My man Kusa.
Check him out every
Monday,
Wednesday, and Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the Morning Show.
Morning Show.
And we're going to be hooking up, NYC Radio on the Morning Show. We're going to be doing some stuff together.
Right.
Kusa said, let's do it, man. And Damon said he is not angry at all.
Damon is always angry, lying bastard.
Damon is the Incredible Hulk from... No, you know what? Damon is... You know how the last... The last Avengers with the Hulk didn't want to come out no more.
Damon went from Thanos to Hulk.
And he calmed down for a little bit, man. Shout out to Coach Damon. Middle River Damon, and that's going to come up later.
Wow.
That's going to come up later. We're going to talk about that later. So it is what it is. Now, when teams don't show up or the field's unplayable, that causes a ripple effect through the whole league.
Right.
Okay. So from my understanding, they asked the team, is their field good?
They said yes.
They said yes, but you can't stop acts of God. If it rains, every field's been flooded. If you looked at a couple weeks ago, the Eastside Raiders field looked like a river, like a shown off river. So that's not their fault.
Right.
Okay. There's nothing they can do about that. It rained. My thing is that if you're not communicating with the league, nobody's saying anything. Fine, but when you have teams that show up and tap out,
right,
and say, okay, well, we can't handle this, we're going to tap out. I don't care if you're getting beat 90 to the Batillos beat Owings Mills 91-0. Am I lying?
No,
They did not quit. You don't tell your kids to quit.
Right.
And then after that, oh, we ain't got enough kids. You know, we're gonna. So if you knew you didn't have enough kids from the first place,
Right.
you know, you got to go to the league and say, hey, look, man, look, these kids are not showing up. Things happen. You know, kids they sign up and then they want to go somewhere else. It happens. It's not your fault. You need to communicate with the league. And so I believe what happened is that the league levied fines against that program.
Right.
And a few of the programs, which was up next, said, hey, look, we'll pay the fine. Right. But the league said, no, you're not the program director. It has to come from the program director. And that's where we were stopped at.
Right.
Now, I don't know. Do we agree with that? Do we say, hey, does it matter who pays the fine as long as it's paid? Gary?
I think he just got caught in the wash.
Okay.
He has a 4 or 5 flag. Tay Dip a good guy.
Okay.
He got a great youth, program for the smaller age group, which is a 4 or 5 flag, a 6U, and a 7U.
Right.
He won the championship last year in MYFA with his 6U.
Right.
Right. And he got a good program. Those guys, they real confident in what they do. And a lot of people went around with a lot of false information. You know what I'm saying? They hoard Tay and they did certain things towards Tay.
Right.
And I don't think nothing really was personal. I think he just got caught up in the wash. Sometimes you guilty by association because we all riding in a stolen car.
Right.
We all getting a stolen car charge.
Right.
Right. And basically that's what he got kind of caught up in the wash. It wasn't a direct hit to him. Sometimes you guilty by association. I think that's what it's about. And people try to throw in like, hey, it's just about the kids and it's about the kids. Yeah, it is about the kids.
Well,
but
I believe, let's just keep the whole story there. I believe that people believe that since he came from the Terps that Kwesi had a little, as Kwesi would say, an axe to grind with Tay because he left his program.
Right.
Now, my personal opinion of this, Jody and Gary, is that Kwesi should have had nothing to do with this just because of the simple appearance.
So that way nobody
of him having that
so nobody can make the assumption
that he had an axe to grind.
Right.
Although he is the rules chairman.
Right.
Someone else should have. I seen the letter. The letter should not even come from him. It should have came from someone else, just so that we can avoid the appearance of
being personal,
of it being a personal issue.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion.
Now my thing is this: say financially, that program couldn't afford those fines. Could we have found another way around this situation? Like maybe taking a couple home games away.
That's just it. But somebody volunteered to pay.
But even
and
though
the league said no.
But even somebody volunteered to pay, but it's not the program's money. It was somebody's personal funds.
Right. And that's what the league said. We can't have that.
So my thing is, maybe for their first offense of doing this, we could have took some home games away.
William Stewart says it was personal, man. We all know that the man that ran the Terps don't like Tay. He makes the rules. Terrell P. Lyles, what's good? Sean Fisher, check it in. Go ahead, Gary.
Some things might have been personal will. I mean, but I think it was set aside because when it was presented to, I ain't gonna speak names or whatever and get caught up in the wash. He say, she say. But from my understanding, it was told, and the first person they asked came from the symbol said he wasn't paying.
Right.
That's where it came.
Right.
So
that is true.
Now, to be in fairness, Queasy and them did not take the up next boys off the schedule at first. They only took
the Seminoles.
And see,
the Seminoles. They only took some of the Seminoles teams off that quit and that forfeit.
Right, this is what I heard.
Because you had teams coming all the way from Delaware, Kent County, to come down and play the week one.
Let's talk about that for a minute. I don't want to get you off track.
Yeah.
But let's look at that. If you were from Delaware or from Baltimore and you went all the way up to Delaware and that happened, you would be pissed.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand what it is. Real fast here, Kusa says, how can you give a team fines because they don't practice at the same field? We'll talk about that. Damon says, personal, point blank, period. That's his famous line. He thinks it's personal, Kwesi, and it is what it is. But
yeah, so
some people are going to have their opinions.
Yeah, so
and that's why I say, because of what Coach Damon just said, that's why I say he should have had nothing to do with it.
Right.
So that the appearance, especially being on the board of a league, because that little foolishness gets around, and you can't just say, "Oh, I ain't worried about what people think or whatever." Your customer service, as Jody always says, is first and foremost in anything.
First and
you get where I'm
foremost.
coming from?
Yeah. So I mean, so in that aspect, you know, if it is fines issued,
right,
team quit.
Right.
Teams, like you say, came down from Delaware.
Right.
To play a game. Did not play week 1.
Right.
Coming to week 2 was forfeits again week 2. Fines issued. What do you do at that point? Do you say, okay, because they ain't paid, just let them keep rocking? Right. Or do you stick to your standard of your league? Because if you in mid-Maryland,
they're not going to have that.
You're not going to have it.
Now, see, let's talk about that. Sticking to a standard.
Right.
From a league perspective, they have to.
Right.
They have to stick to the rules. They have to say, hey, look, fellas, it is what it is, fine. But you can still stick to the rules and make sure that the perception is not what it's supposed to be. You know, anybody on that rules committee could have said, we're making this. And man, now, if Quasi's name was nowhere near this,
right,
we wouldn't be talking about this.
People can think what they want.
Right.
It came from someone else.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go a step further.
We wouldn't be talking about it.
Right. I wasn't gonna say much, but you know, everybody that's on here and that's listening, Kusta, Will, everybody that's listening. Let's be real. We know Up Next is not a part of the Seminoles.
Right. We know that.
The only reason they got in the league is because they hooked up with the Seminoles.
With the Seminole. And see, now, Gary, that's keeping it 100.
That's keeping it 100.
And the league knows this.
The league knows this.
Right.
So, the main thing was he's operating as a private entity, but he was with them. So, like I'm saying, it's going back to being guilty by association.
Right.
Yeah, the Up Next boys could have played.
Right.
But the rest of your program that you hooked up with
can't play.
Can't play.
Now, fellas, I want to get onto this. Kusa said it was personal when Tay said he would pay that. That should have been
That should have been it. That should have. But you know, that's how I felt the other day. That should have been it because you getting the fine paid.
Right.
If you get a ticket and I say, you know what, Don, I'm gonna take this ticket down to the courthouse and pay it. The courthouse ain't gonna say, well, it ain't Donald.
Yeah, Jody paid it for that, but somebody paid it.
Somebody paid it.
The fine is paid.
The thing is, you want to knock out that fine.
But all right, that's true. I'm with it.
Terrell P. Lyle says, here's another very interesting point.
Right.
Terrell P. Lyle says the league allowed them to go with the Seminoles.
Exactly.
I mean, you can go with whoever you want.
Right. But if the league approved it and said, hey, we're going to let you come in.
Then, so is that the league trying to help Up Next be a part of the league? So if they really, everybody saying the league against them, they allowed you to play last year. They allowed you to go join another program to stay in the league. So you got to look at it on both sides.
William Stewart says, answer this. Are the Seminoles a Division I program in MYFA?
Hell no.
No.
They ain't even a B team. Sheesh. Hey, the Seminoles are a infant unit.
But look, that's every program. Every program has age groups that should be playing in the B's or C's, and then some that might. But that's youth football now, and you know why that is?
Too many damn programs.
Which it's gonna take us into our next topic in a little bit. Too many damn programs. So William Stewart, no, they are not a program, but. Had they all, let's say, is the cadet? Where's the cadets at? Are they east or west?
What cadets?
The cadets that was in there.
I think they're Patterson Park.
But if all of those teams down there, Up Next, the Seminoles, and a couple of them other programs down there had emerged up, and we can get out of all of this, who's in charge, and then we got a strong program, and you ain't got to worry about aid because I don't care what you say. If you've been around coaching long enough, and you're coaching in HB's setup to me was the best because programs that were B and C's played against B and C programs. And the A division, the national division, when you won, and you came up to the Americans and your percentage was running, and you came to that national, you understood that you had to come to play every day.
You got to realize they had 4 divisions.
4 divisions.
Right.
National,
football.
American, Federal, Centennial.
Yeah, Centennial Federal.
Yeah.
So. And if you were a Centennial talent, your program was a Centennial talent, you didn't come away with these 70-0 games or whatever because you were playing an A division team. You played a Centennial team and things were more competitive.
Yeah.
And kids began to get better. And it was great to see a kid start out in the Federals when he was, 7 or 8 years old. And by the time he was 14, this kid came on. He's a national division talent, D1. So remember, people, all of these new programs popping up, all of these people who refuse to merge or whatever, if we could merge, and Jody said yesterday, and get 8 or 9 good programs, maybe 10 solid programs, all of those programs will have 2 or 3 teams, age groups across the board, and every game will be great.
City football would be off the chain.
Yes.
If we can get 10 programs, and with those 10 programs start 3 divisions, man, you know what that would do?
Kusa says, how can you have 11U playing 12U teams? Well, Kusa, if it's 11UA and you're talking about a 12UB, which is usually 11-year-olds, I mean, that's just what it is now. It's 11-year-olds playing, so, you know, you get some 12-year-olds that talent is not good. I mean.
Yeah, from my understanding, it'd be a 12UB. They might got 3 12-year-olds.
Yeah, 3 12-year-olds.
And the rest of the team 11. So it really.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's
man.
pretty much even.
You can look at it like this, man. You can say Morgan State, MEAC playing somebody in the Big Ten,
right,
or the SEC, man. The talent level is just way off the chain, man. So but they're still all the same age. They're right around there. So that's what it is. Terrell P. Lyles, the thing that separated MYFA from other leagues is that they always seem to put the kids first. That's why they allow teams like Seminoles and others without a whole program in. In this case, I think they didn't put the kids first and went rules first, which is not the MYFA way, I think. Anybody?
Damn, Terrell's like a goddamn politician. Go ahead, Obama. Wait, but I agree with him on it because Donald, I've been.
Kusa, we not playing no mind games with kids. He said, "Now we playing mind games."
Kusa, mine's playing tricks on me.
And Kusa, that order lighting rules playing mind
William
games.
Stewart says UC has the best league layout.
And you want to know what? UC should have the best.
Our missing host, Brandon Davis, is checking in with us.
Hey, Brandon, how your son doing,
It's a
man?
ton of Eagles, man. Yeah, Brandon was with his son at the hospital, man. Shout out to his son. Hope he gets better. It is what it is, man. So
I mean, but MYFA's still a young league.
Yeah, it still is.
So they're still working out the bugs.
Right.
So I guess once they get everything going, because I don't see UC being around much longer.
Man, there's a lot of things going on up there.
Yeah.
Let's jump right into Middle River and the UC.
I don't see how they went there.
I'm going to say it like this. Middle River's going to run through the UC, and he's going to put them out next year.
Baltimore City.
Well,
River.
You know what? I don't see them. I don't see them putting them out. But
They're not going to be.
Well, wait a minute. Let's just say
they're not going to be like very well.
My man Chavez from over the Terp said he said that the UC ain't as soft as he thought it was.
No, it's not.
Did somebody say Dallas only won 6-0 the other day?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's struggling.
Wow.
Team not that good.
It's team, but
Dallas at 11 years.
I always said this in my years of coaching, and I mean, Kusa always said this about me. I don't know if you remember this. Like, well, gee, you always make a damn championship game. I always find a way to make a championship game, but the way I made championship games was style of play.
Right.
And Jody always told me this too. I grew up around Jody. Styles of play always match up different.
They do.
UC has a different style of play. Like you just said, the Big Ten. Big Ten is physical.
Right.
SEC is physical and fast.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's different styles of play in different leagues. Them leagues like UC has, sometimes they have better coaching. We may have better athletes sometimes.
Right.
MYFA may have better athletes.
Right.
Same with AYF.
And Gary is kicking some knowledge in.
Yeah. AYF is they got good teams.
Right.
I ain't gonna say they always got the best coaching. They might have
great athletes though.
I'm gonna say great recruiters because some of the teams, when you got all the best athletes from the city on one team, that don't mean you're a great coach.
No, absolutely
and
not.
That means you're a great recruiter.
No, that means you're a great babysitter,
as Jody said. Great babysitter.
Because my thing is this.
Wait a minute, Coach Damon, you hear? Coach Damon said this about Dallas, and Rob Peterson went off on him.
Okay.
Now we all think Dallas is a great coach.
Yeah.
But Coach Davis said he thought he was a better recruiter.
He's a hell of a recruiter.
Okay.
And
now you just said that the team is struggling. So is it he wasn't a great recruiter this year, or what is it? Damon, check in with me.
Listen. This is.
I know he don't. Well, you know what? I can't put Damon out here. He's a Middle River guy.
Listen,
I can't make him talk about this.
11U is probably one of the toughest age groups to coach at.
Why you say
10U and 11U. This is where
you're in the middle.
The balance of talent is spread out between 10U and 11U.
Okay.
You get a very good spread of the talent. Now, next year, you'll see a lot of kids leaving certain programs to go to certain programs to be part of that program.
Right.
But at 10U and 11U, man, most of the best games are at 10U and 11U.
Yeah.
Once you get to 12U,
game changes.
Game changes.
Game changes because somebody either stacks up. Mm-hmm. You'll have one or two teams that's stacked. You'll have another team that has one good athlete.
Yeah.
You'll have another team that don't have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But 10U, 11U, man, that's the games.
Eric Sorrell says, Brandon Davis says that Middle River ran from Mid-Maryland's league. Eric Sorrell corrects him and says, Brandon Davis, no, they didn't. They tried to get back in, but the weight issue was a problem.
Can I say something about Brandon Davis and him with those Mid-Maryland things on his chin? He needs to be – he's such a ball rider.
That's his league, man.
I don't – listen, don't nobody run from Mid-Maryland. Nobody. It's just another league. They have great competition there.
Well, if all of the Baltimore County teams had left Mid-Maryland, they go back to the Howard County League.
Yeah.
Right. Because the only thing that made them stronger was the Baltimore County teams. Coming in. There. Now, Maplewood and Western Howard County, those teams were great. Only, they had a couple good teams there, but they were the Howard County League. It is what it is.
I mean, but Mid-Maryland, I'm gonna tell you something. Mid-Maryland probably has some of the best coaching out there. That's the league Falston should actually be in, because Falston just keep upsetting Perry Hall.
Hold up, they messing with Brandon Davis. Said he in the Carroll County League. He needs to be pumping him up.
Hey, listen, how you pump up the Carroll County League when there's only one team in it?
Terrell Pete Lyle says you called him a ball rider. David Hayes, Mid-Maryland was nothing until Overly, Pikesville, Middle River, Randallstown went there. I agree.
I agree.
We definitely agree.
I never lost to a Mid-Maryland team.
Right.
I agree.
Eric Sorrell says facts, David. This is the football we know. This is the football we know. So I think Middle River's going to run through the UC. I looked at my man James. He was pissed because his 14U went to the A division up there, and they get beat up. But, look, somebody's got to do it. Yeah. And they'll learn.
Somebody got to take one for the team.
They'll learn. And that's what he's doing. He's taking one for the team. They'll learn. Mr. CEO is checking in with us. Pup's dad.
Hey, Big Pup.
Big Pup.
That's Scooby.
I seen him yesterday.
That's Scooby, son Scrappy.
I don't know.
Perry Hall.
Yeah, Perry Hall. Hey, Perry Hall. Hey, Falston has Perry Hall's number year in, year out.
Ramon. You went down to Falston. Ramon was at the lot.
Oh, yeah.
He was at the lot.
Hey, let me tell you something. All I could do was laugh.
Look, man, coach.
Okay, let me tell you something. I said this about 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. If Falston ever gets talent, they will give everybody problems because their coaching has always been excellent.
Last year when Vinny was coaching them against Dave Williams and what's his name?
Chris when we went to the game,
it was cold as I don't know what out there, man.
Hey, but that field goal wasn't cold. They always beat them by field goal.
Falston had their number, man. Did Damon go? Average 14 years. Well, Damon set off a fire.
Hey, let me tell you something. Damon talks about recruiters. He's one hell of a recruiter also.
You know he was. Listen, every year, I wait till I got something coming up here. Man, I'm telling you. So that's what it is. And the other great recruiter was Jody Lewis.
It wasn't me. I had a coach named Poopy. That can grab kids.
Yeah, Poopy.
And the thing is, I used to tell them all the time, go find me basketball players. I want basketball players. I need Listen, the best football players are your athletic basketball players that's not afraid to get hit or do some hitting.
Right.
And he would come to practice, man, I got this kid. He's 6 foot tall.
That's David.
And I would sit there like, Poopy, damn. Where you get this kid from? We get that kid from, and it worked out because dudes want football players. No, I want basketball players.
Right, agile, everything. Jody, they don't have a lick of talent, but they can coach. I guess he's talking about Falston.
Hey, listen. Yeah. You don't need talent to win games.
So does Middle River run through the UC? Somebody said anybody except for 9U.
Well, that's the other issue because we ain't bring our Rosedale.
Yeah, I was going to say
Rosedale went there as well.
I was going to say them and Rosedale are 1 and 2 in every division.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's gonna be that's probably then gonna be every championship game across the board.
How does this
except that 14U, we know Prairie Hall not gonna be there.
How does is it gonna be Prairie Hall against Foster?
No.
I don't know about the 14.
14 is tough because if you look at the footage of those 14U teams,
who else is out there though?
Rosedale got pretty. They got pretty diluted 14U.
Okay. Damon, what about Rosedale's 14U? Don, I executed my recruiting plan this offseason for my 9U team. Thank you, Locke.
Who's that?
Terrell, we gonna get to that.
And Terrell, we
gonna
what's up, cuz? He related to me too.
Yeah.
What's up, cuz?
I remember when you and him was at what's your name? Dewey's last year Gary was plotting on going to YFL. I don't know how
CEO said Prairie Hall will be there.
Tell CEO shit, if y'all learn how to tackle, y'all won't be no damn where.
Yo, you heard it.
Blocking and tackling is the name of the game.
You heard it.
Is Prairie Hall swimmers in the Bearcat?
What age?
14 years.
They are?
Oh, I'm just, I don't know.
They ain't gonna scrimmage them.
Who's asking the dad? CEO dad.
They ain't gonna scrimmage them.
But
Eric Sorrell said Rosedale should have brought their ass to MYFA. They ain't what that.
Yeah, I mean,
listen. This is what should happen. Rosedale should come to MYFA.
Right.
Overly should come to MYFA.
Right.
CCB should come to MYFA. Parkside should come to MYFA.
Do we know? Hey,
I'm just throwing teams. Secret Society should come to MYFA.
right.
Yeah.
Hey. But like I say, if those teams come, certain teams need to start looking at mergers with other programs.
Man,
close
do we
to them.
realize if mergers happen, what type of football you would have every week?
I'm still crying for the Terps to sit down with Secret Society, bring Secret Society on over to the dark side, and bring them to MYFA.
I heard something else popping too, but I can't. Yeah. I can't say it on the thing.
And I would love to see.
But they got to.
David always want to start stuff. Why should they come in the homeboy league?
Well,
what league is the homeboy league? Is he saying MYFA's the home?
That's what he said.
I mean, let me say this.
Hold on, let me say something real fast, Gary. It's real strange that Damon would say MYFA's the homeboy league when he came from the homeboy program, Lock Ravens.
Absolutely, that's what we were. I'm sorry.
So hey, I guess a homeboy can pick out a homeboy.
Yeah, but
David will respond.
I was thinking about political. Not nothing that what he's saying. Like the Mid Maryland is a homeboy league because they homeboys that started the league. UC is a kind of homeboy league.
No. UC is more like
it's a homeboy league. Not for our homeboys.
Terrell Pete Lyle says YFL plus Overly next year.
Yeah, because they are.
They've been
listen. Because that's the regime that's coming in to run the program.
Got quiet.
They need to do that. They need to do that because you got Rosedale in that area.
Sean Fisher says, I don't have a dog in the fight, but UC grows next year. Facts.
And subtracts. I know facts.
Hey, Sean.
What'd you say?
I know some stuff too. So
listen.
A lot of facts.
Listen. Addition and subtraction.
Listen, Sean.
I hear you, David.
When UC grows, it's not growing with a good program. It's just growing with a program. Man. Who can you get to go in UC?
Well, I mean, I'm surprised Rosedale went there. I really am. Why did Rosedale go there? Let's ask that question.
Because Rosedale don't want no competition.
No, want no smoke. No smoke.
It was more so because of that 9U.
No, let me tell you something.
Let's be real.
And I tell
because of that 9U.
But I tell everybody this.
William Stewart says a lot of mergers coming 2019. Look out. UC losing teams next year. Facts.
Yeah.
Pete, is that why y'all had Transformers on some of y'all helmets? That was cool, man.
Hey, listen. Hey, Donald, but what did I just say a couple weeks ago? Who should merge? Didn't I say Overly
and YFL?
And YFL should merge. And if that don't work out, they should go talk to Lock Ravens.
I don't agree. He said UC only getting Northwood.
I can't see you. I can't see Northwood.
Damon, he said we being biased. Come on, Damon. You know we are never biased. We keep it 100.
My first name ain't Lynn.
I'm looking from the outside, and so I was in AYF. I seen MYFA start. So I'm asking y'all guys, did MYFA grow from that point to now, or did they decline from when it first started?
They're still at that borderline stage.
All right.
They haven't really grown, but they haven't fallen off. But
yeah, it kind of went.
They leveled out. They continue to level out. But the thing is, what you got to watch out for is when they do explode, everybody's going to know. Like I said, if they can get a Charm City or Parkside, then you can start looking at their growth.
Okay. So what did UC do? UC attracted Middle River, which was a big hit.
Can I say one thing?
They had got 3 teams: Rosedale, Lock Raven, and
The Lock's not there anymore.
I mean, but they 3 teams.
Well, I mean, can I say one thing? Getting Lock Raven wasn't even part of no goddamn growth. You got a zit.
Okay.
Because it was a small program that was trying to rebuild. So getting Rosedale, even Rosedale ain't a big program.
No.
Even with them merging with, what was that? Yeah,
Right.
Section 8 United. It's real short. It's real sad that Section 8 United went with a WIC program. Hey, but the thing is, if we can get some real major.
Hold up, Damon says this. Let me stop. Damon says he doesn't believe MYFA has the best competition. He was in the championship last year, and I see it's better competition than the UC.
You see better coaching in the UC, which make it seems like you having better competition. And then he's coaching with Johnny Witherspoon.
Okay.
I guess everything would look a little better.
J-Dub, where you at?
But the thing is, he's experiencing coaching.
I always say this.
Delaware MOT, Sean Fisher. Now, see, Sean, you an old school head. You can't be running around here with MOT name. People don't know what that is.
MOT.
I always say this.
Eric Sorrell says Lock Raven's coming back next year, and he's the president.
Hey, yo.
We heard about that.
Listen. If that was to happen,
that was the Hamilton thing. Hamilton trying to come back to Lock Raven.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Listen. You wasn't supposed to say that on the radio.
Why not? Let's
letting it loose. This game, they won.
All right, so let's talk about the Lock. I've been there 20 years.
I've been there a couple years.
And Lock has had football since 1957 up until last year.
Yeah, I think
this year. It's a shame. It's a travesty. And dudes, man, who are about themselves, man, just blow me.
Listen. To see to see any of the historic, as I call them, historic programs fold is like
it's terrible.
It's terrible. They had a chance to save themselves. They blew the situation with the Bearcats and
THD at the time.
No, they wasn't THD because they was leaving THD. So I'm not going to call them THD.
It was just going to be a bunch of people coming over to the Lock.
Because when you say THD, that means it was going to be a merger. There was no merger involved. It was guys coming over trying to rebuild
a program.
But rebuild the family.
Right, which it came from.
And the thing is, you have 3 guys that didn't want to see this happen.
Right.
Which was Kenny, Marcus, and Don Bushman. Which is sad because now you have a field with lights.
A facility.
An excellent facility that's not being used and is not helping the community. I think that I can't see Hamilton going there.
Well, Hamilton was there at one point.
But I gave Hamilton the blues.
Yeah, so did Damon.
No, but I gave him the blues.
Yeah,
we ain't got space to practice.
Both of y'all.
Go to your field. This ain't your field.
So does that.
I know
3 guys that gave them the blues, and that's what it was.
The thing
that's the rumor.
The thing is, if that does happen, when you have other programs that can use it with more teams, and I would like to see. I'm be honest with you, if the Bearcats couldn't go around the corner, I'd like to see YFL go there.
You know what? You said that, but I'm going to be watching this closely because Hamilton was there. There was a relationship between the rec council president and Hamilton. And,
but you got to realize.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Listen, that rec council president is only out for his interest.
Absolutely.
And he has to be stopped because Lock Raven football shouldn't be folded.
No, it shouldn't.
I don't care if you just had 3 teams this year.
It shouldn't have.
You could play it as an independent,
right? And
went around and played people. But Lock Raven football has been, like you said, 1957.
Selfishness.
That's like waking up tomorrow and hearing that there's no more Overly.
the original. And I want to add something to this now. Is the independent taking over youth football?
It's not actually,
because let's look at just not Locke. You got Owings Mills that's struggling or that folded. You have Parkville that's struggling. Overly that's struggling. Let's look at the rec council teams. The independent is taking over youth football, in my opinion.
The only reason it's taking over because you got so many dudes with this greed stripe on their back. I'm not saying everybody that's starting independent is in this for the money.
Right.
But if you got two teams year in, year out, and it's not by design, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're doing this for either your ego or the finances.
Right. Which we all know.
Look at the Bills, East Side Bills. Come on, man. You've been having two teams for 5-6 years now.
Okay.
You have no growth. When you have no growth, then the Bearcats come along, and they got every age group.
How does that happen? How does let me say, how does a team like the Baltimore Crimson Tide, which we looked at yesterday, come on as an upstart?
I'm gonna tell you why.
And look better than a team like Lock Raven that's been there for years.
I'm gonna tell you.
How does that happen?
I'm gonna tell you why. That young man DJ and some of his coaches in that program really hustled to get them kids. They hit the schools, Collins Square, Fort Worth, and they really hit those schools.
I looked at that program yesterday, and although they're not that competitive right now, they look better than a Lock Raven who's been around for years. They look better, and this is the first year. They look better than them for the last than Lock Raven has looked for the last 7 or 8 years. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
How does that happen? That tells you something.
Well, with us, because I'm the football commissioner at the Bearcats. Well, with me, it's the group of people that we have.
Right.
For the Bearcats.
Right.
We got a bunch of men and women that hustle. And, you know what I mean, we was fortunate because of the other program leaving.
Right.
We still had kids.
Right.
And then actually the situation with Lock Raven helped us out too because kids from Lock Raven came too because that was the whole game plan from day one.
From the beginning.
To lock the whole area up.
Right.
And some people ain't say it that way.
Right.
So I'm not going to go into that because I don't have nothing to do with some of the issues that people had. But from my standpoint, for me being that there, Lock Raven for 2 years, I went to school one day. My nephew, I went to school, and half of the kids played for the Sky Blue team, half of the kids played for Northwood, and the kids from Lock Raven. But all of them was in the same class.
And they all talk to each other.
Yeah, that's when the light bulb went off. Hey, we fighting for kids. And then this is the other thing. Across the street from Lock Raven, kids was playing for Charm City.
Right across the street.
Lock Raven.
Right.
And Middle River.
And Parkville.
And
Pikesville.
They live 2 minutes from the field.
2 minutes from the field.
So I was like, hey, why don't we try to bring something together?
I went out in the neighborhood, and I would go out and talk to kids and see kids. Where you live at, Shorty? Right there.
Yeah.
You want to play football? Yeah, I already play. Who you play for? Kid told me Pikesville. I said, well, where you live at again? Right there.
Right.
I couldn't fathom why, but the leadership there over the last couple of years was so subpar.
Right.
And just the way that it was ran, we couldn't even attract great coaches. We only had one coaching staff up there that was worth anything. Yeah. And that team was the only one winning consistently.
Yeah.
But you also got to look at the thing is people take their kids places that have a good history of winning.
Towson struggling, Eric Durrell says, real quick, Joe, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sean Fitz says most of the original Baltimore County teams are gone on the way of merging or closing. Dundalk, Lock Raven, Overly, Towson. That's what I said.
I said that.
The rec teams and the independents are not even on the same playing field. The independents are taking over.
And I'm gonna go a step further. It's like Jody said. It's these rec councils.
Right, the rec councils.
And I'm not gonna play the race card. I'm not gonna play the race card.
Right.
But you got these old rec councils that's not in tune with society.
Right.
That been in here for years.
Right.
Same thing with Lock Raven.
Right.
They don't want nothing new. And with the independent, we don't have to check with nobody.
Right.
It's us. It's what we doing.
But
with the rec council, you got to go through this and that to get money for this and that. It's like certain parameters that you got to go through that you don't have to go through with the independent.
Listen, when I ran Lock Raven, I broke...
Scoob checking in with us.
When I ran Lock Raven, I broke every rule when it came to the finances. If I got to go buy something, I'm going to buy it.
Right.
I'm taking the cash. I'm going to get it. I don't need your credit card. We just did registration. I'm going out here today to get these uniforms.
And I have my receipts.
Exactly. As long as I turn my receipts in, that's cash to the rec.
Right.
Your receipts is like cash. But when you get dudes that sit back and believe that okay, I gotta put this money in the bank, then I gotta wait I gotta submit this form, do this, do that.
Right.
No, dog. My kids come first.
Right.
And the independents are winning for the fact that, like you say, they don't have to go through the paperwork. But you don't have nobody checking over top of the independent for their checks and balances.
Okay,
so
true.
So when an independent sit there and say, well, we should have this, but we only got that.
Right.
But don't question me.
I talked to a guy yesterday, and he said, gee, I don't care if an independent program, if somebody puts something in their pocket. As long as the kids got good helmets, good equipment, uniforms, everything that they need first. I'm not, you know, it's the programs like what you're saying that, like Kusa always said, you got helmets from 10, 12 years old.
Lock Raven.
You know what I mean? You got old helmets and you got old equipment. And, you know, they the people that you want to look at. But you look at like a Charm said, I always bring them up because they recruit well. They got a lot of offers because they offer the kids them uniforms and uniforms and uniforms and uniforms on top
about
of
the kids.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't care whatever they do with their finances, but I'm just talking about far as they put a good product on the field. They always going to compete, and they're going to look good. And that's from the baby teams to the older teams.
And another thing that attracts kids and parents is the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, you go down Charm City, man, they treat everybody like family. They ain't even got to know you. You get talking to somebody, they treat you like family. It ain't no, you know, you go to certain fields, man, you look around be like.
They look at you like, who you?
Why you? What he doing over here?
Right.
You know, but like Cherry Hill, you go down there, Kusa and them treat you like family, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Kusa.
It's just, we got to bring back that atmosphere. And let me tell you something. The first thing somebody want to see is a group of black guys fail. Yeah. And that ain't on no race tip because it's the black guys that want to see us fail.
Yeah.
It ain't nobody else. It's us. Mm-hmm. We pray that, oh, yo, I hope their program fail. I hope their program fail. Because I look at what Rob them doing. I know somebody's sitting back hoping they fail.
Oh, there's a couple of people that said it wouldn't happen. They said they weren't going to be able to get it going again, and they said they weren't going to be able to get all of this equipment. And I keep telling those same people that listen to that idiot,
right?
Keep listening to him. Keep on listening to him, and he's saying it ain't going to happen, and they can't do this and they can't do that. And they listened to him. Guess what? They kept listening to him, and it went right down the drain.
There's a lot to go on. There's a lot to go on behind the scenes. Like for us at the Bearcats, it's a lot to go on behind the scenes with Brandon and Coach Nutt and Rob Gaines, myself. You know, you got Michelle. Uh-huh. You got a lot of guys, Nelly. You know, Eric. We got a lot of guys. Warren. You know, Warren came a lot.
Yeah, Warren came over and
does a lot.
Does a lot, man.
The fundraiser.
Yo, you know what? Warren did so much last year.
Wait a minute, man. Let's give a shout out to our boy Spence. He's back.
Spence is back, man. My man Spence. Shout out Spence. Spence. I got you, man. Hold on, man. People are looking for the show. I'm on Facebook just telling them where to go.
Hey, man, but I want to see every program, you know, be successful, but I also want to see them start sitting down, talk merger.
We needed you, man. And we tried over there at Lock Raven to really get the merger going to bad.
Lock Raven did merge.
It would have been. It merged to the death.
They merged with bankruptcy.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the teams like a lot of teams did it and wasn't successful. But I look at Park Heights is doing a great job with it. A lot of people forget that is a merger.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, the secret society.
Listen,
and Park, they're a bunch of good guys.
But let me tell you why that works so well.
Right.
Nobody went in there with egos.
Right.
They knew this is something that had to be done, and it was just merging dudes
who know each other.
That knew each other, and you was merging a family together. You was bringing a family together. So when you get something like that,
and it works.
It works, and they knew who the leader was.
Right.
We already know who our leader going to be. We just want to coach.
Right.
And that's what happened with a situation like that. Let's see if we can get a Parkside in Old Town to sit down and do something, because they two programs that can really help each other. Or Parkside and Crimson Tide.
We can get these programs together, man, and just...
It should be like the Crimson Tide and Old Town and them guys.
Listen.
They in the same area.
Hold up, though.
They in the same area.
Take Parkside, Crimson Tide, and Old Town. They're shutting Northwood down.
Yeah.
All right, but if you go Northwood...
Crimson Tide.
Northwood and Crimson Tide? or Northwood Eastside Raiders.
And the Bearcats?
And no, Northwood Eastside Raiders and let's see, Waverly.
See, but you gotta realize that where the Bearcats are located, y'all in a prime area just to be by yourself.
Right.
It was supposed to be the Bearcats and Lock Raven.
Right.
And maybe the TSA. If you put some of those three guys together, those three programs together, man, you have a mega program.
Overly, YFL, Parkville.
That's a mega program.
Yeah.
You know.
It is.
That's a mega program. So,
but then it comes down to behind.
And your smaller programs will start to be Middle River, Rosedale,
Middle River
Stenbridge.
Middle River always going to be big, but if you look,
put those three together.
When I coached at Rosedale,
Middle River, Rosedale, Stenbridge.
Well, one thing that will never happen. Middle River will never go back to Stenbridge.
Right.
When they branched off and created Middle River from that.
A lot of people don't know that though.
That will never happen.
Yeah, right. they don't even know that.
When Dave Malinowski and them went off and created Middle River and they struggled, but let me tell you something.
Hey, look what they made.
When Middle River started, they never had a problem getting kids. Mm-hmm. It's just they always wanted the inner city kids because I remember when a dude used to try to pick me up in the Lance truck, Dave Malinowski. I wasn't getting in the truck with no grown ass man with some cookies. You know, I'm in East Baltimore, so I had Gardenville, I had Overly to choose from. So why would I go all the way out Middle River?
Right.
So I went to Gardenville.
Right.
But when they came on the scene. And a lot of people don't even know they wasn't even Renegades when they first started.
Right.
So, you know, when they started growing and flourishing and started being competitive, people took notice.
So you said a key point just now. Because you look at Middle River, a lot of their kids are from where? The city.
Well, not anymore. A lot of them kids are from Section 8 areas in their community.
Jody always got something to say about.
I mean, they still do get a lot of kids that come from the city to go out there. And let me tell you something. And if you're a parent that goes to Middle River to a game, one thing you understand about Middle River, especially their sideline, the atmosphere is different than anywhere else, and they all group together.
Right.
It's a family. This is what people look for.
Right.
Is it safe for my child?
Yep.
Will my child learn football?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Will he get the best opportunity to play? Mm-hmm. He's under lights. He's on this dusty ass field. Hey, I like it here.
Right.
You know, you go to. I hate to say this. You go to other programs like the one up on. Okay, Parkside. My kids play there.
Right.
Love some of the guys that's in Parkside. But the atmosphere is a family atmosphere, but you can see the division with everybody.
And that's the difference in some of these programs now,
like
having that family atmosphere.
When my kids went over to Secret Society and played, their sideline supported everybody.
Right.
Parents stuck around and watched other teams play. But Parkside, parents roll out. It's no support. Yeah. Because I'm one of them parents that roll the hell out. I'm trying to go somewhere else and watch some real football.
Hey, listen, man. We're going to take a quick music break.
You'll beat my...
Then we will come back and talk about the crazy things that have happened in youth football.
Yeah, like some of you dudes actually being allowed to coach.
But we're going to talk about the funny things. Rodney Blue, who has a Facebook page. Rodney went to the Terps. David's at Middle River. Donald's at the Bearcats.
I'm not coaching.
Jody's not coaching. We're going to talk about it when he come back, man. NYC Radio. NYST Radio, we back. Jody.
Hey.
Man. Good to see everybody out there at the Bearcats game yesterday, man. It was a good football, RFL Stadium.
We need to start a Facebook page for the radio show.
Yeah, we can do that.
Where coaches can chime in and lead their scores and give us their player of the game, and we might give them, the coach and the player, a shout out.
Right. Hey, look, Eric. The kids tell me what music it is if they don't update this damn music. Listen, man, I like the beat. The beat is the beat. We got new music coming to Eric. I got it all on disc.
Hey, Eric.
It's just my first day back. I ain't have a chance to put up the new music yet.
If you hear the CD he want to play, man, he want to play some damn Brownstone, Macy Gray.
So let's talk about the crazy things that have happened in youth football with some of these coaches, man. So Ronnie Blue Who has a Facebook page.
It's not the fact he has a Facebook page. He actually speaks.
Ronnie Rivers, man. He has a Facebook page.
He has like I said, he has a Facebook page. He has a page and he speaks.
He talks.
I didn't know mutes.
Yeah, I said, type. Man, he has a Facebook page.
That's
Rodney is over at the Terps.
Rodney who?
Rodney Huey.
Oh,
Baby Huey.
It was the second year there.
Yeah, it's the second year there. But
I mean, almost the same results he was getting at Parkville.
Yo, he gonna listen to this, man, when he working, but that's gonna be funny. Damon's at Middle River.
But you want to know what? I always seen that happening.
You see that?
Yeah, because he's a rebel. He's a renegade.
Blue Who is the OC of Great Charles 14U. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Heavens and Murgatroyd.
Oh, man. Interesting.
To see Donald in a Bearcats
green and white.
Oh, man.
What's a Bearcat, Jody?
I don't think it go row. It go like row. Sound like a drone.
Man.
Hey,
it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. No more THD.
Wow.
This is crazy. It's crazy.
Listen, I'm starting to like the new look.
Yeah, I love it. It's nice.
I mean,
the green.
In the field, yesterday, the atmosphere at the field was...
It was pretty good.
It was decent.
It was pretty good.
And it's a new era
of youth football.
It's a new era for Brandon, Rob, and the rest of the family. They have jumped off real nice.
Right.
If the YFL and Oldie thing is actually going to happen, that would be sheesh. YFL got damn. Well, maybe Locke will come back next year.
Well, we'll see.
Then the first team I ever played for, Murray Dawkins, will come back.
Murray Dawkins. Dang, Jody. So these kids be like, these coaches be like, who? What is that? What? Murray Dawkins.
Murray Dawkins Chiefs.
Man, they don't know nothing about no Murray Dawkins,
1978. 7-year-old player.
Murray Dawkins.
78, man.
Nothing about that.
I mean, but, you know.
Rosedale had the ponies.
The Cowboys, the Broncos, and the Raiders.
I was a pony.
And they had the Raiders for 13-15.
Yeah, man. They don't know nothing about that, man.
No, man.
That's old school,
well,
right?
We had water helmets.
Good Lord Almighty, man.
You know.
It is what it is, man. But it's a new era of football.
I remember when the Ricestown program was actually the kids from Hickey.
Yes. Shoo. Boy, that is something right there, man. If you old school, you remember some of that. Check in with us.
Oh,
anybody heard from Johnny Witherspoon, J-Dub? Where's J-Dub at?
Probably somewhere soaking his eye.
Yo, J-Dub.
No, he watching
shout out J-Dub.
I know he's probably watching the 49ers game right now.
The admin of the new locker room, and that thing is lit. It stays lit, man.
Hey, let me tell you something. My man Tito Booker is one of the funniest dudes in America.
Yeah,
him and that damn Eric Sorrell.
Yes, Eric Sorrell's on here right now with us, man. Let's talk about the Sorrell U.
The Sorrell. Hey, listen, hey Eric, when do you play Northwood? Is that this weekend or week 6?
Somebody let us know.
Because we want to broadcast that game.
Yeah, we're going to come and do Eric Sorrell's game, Sorrell U.
Because we know that's going to be a big deal between you and Sellers.
Yeah. Sorrel U. Jody said it's not 11U, it's Sorrel U.
Sorrel U. That's his division. He might not win it, but it's his. Tenacity beat 11U. Tenacity beat YFL. Did they say 6-0?
6-0.
Yo, that was a hard game, man. That 11U over there is he said Saturday at 1.
Saturday at 1.
We will be there at NYST Radio.
And if my son got to play at 1 o'clock, he will miss his game.
We will be there.
He will miss.
I'm gonna have the music
game.
set up this time. Everything. I got the Jody. So you got the DJ.
Hey, he got the old school 12s. He got the techniques. And he looking
Gary
like
rolled out. Yo, Gary went up there with us Saturday, man.
well, he had his family, his mom with him. So
oh, okay. We looking for Gary.
he got out. Me and Gary sat and talked for a little while, man.
Y'all got hip skills, yo.
Hey, listen. Donald over here looking like Bismarcky and shit.
Yeah, y'all got hip skills, man.
Hey, so, okay.
But I'm gonna have Gary down on the field with the cordless mic.
So
check in with Gary down on the field.
So my thing is this: I hear that Norfolk will be missing their star player this week.
Okay, is this for 11U?
Yeah. So Eric, it's your chance to get that win.
They got one Saturday.
It ain't no fucking win. Look, it's your chance to get a win because you know you're not gonna beat YFL or Tenacity.
So are you saying that's the
Front runners.
The front runners right there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. Eric has a pretty good team.
Yeah, I mean they're gelling.
From what I seen yesterday, they have a good team. He said they didn't practice all week last week.
Okay.
So that could have been some of the miscues of yesterday, but size-wise, speed-wise, good team. Like I said, good team.
Right.
Just the coach is a suspect. They should be on the first 48.
Hey man, Eric wasn't there yesterday, man. So you got to give him that. His OC was there. You had Ward there, and who else? What's the other coach's name? What's the name? I mean, like I said, they looked all right. They struggled a little bit with YFL, man. I think they could have made a better showing, but that was the first game of the season. So
what was the score of the first game?
Eric, what was the first score of the first game? Let us know.
But I mean, what I seen yesterday, he has a good team.
Right.
He has, but in order for them to be in the running for this championship, they got to be
that tenacity and that
YFL,
man.
Let me tell you something. That's why the river ran.
Because of those two?
Yeah.
You think so?
That's why the river ran.
So you think Dallas didn't want to see?
No, he didn't. He didn't. And I would tell him that to his face. What are you going to do, kick me with his old Tim?
Dallas has struggled in unlimited football. He hasn't had the number of wins, I would say, or the success
because he's not getting his 6 older Belitas.
Yeah. Super OBLs.
Super OBLs. And the kids, he goes to basketball games. He goes to track meets to pick up his star players.
Right.
But at one time, his star players, he was doing 8-10. His star player was 11, going on 12.
12, right.
So he would have at least 4 or 5 of them.
Right.
And would kill people.
Right.
But now you can't do that.
Right.
And then when you tell somebody, well, we unlimited. Well, it's an unlimited program right down the street from me. Mm-hmm. I can take my kid there. Mm-hmm. And then you get Tenacity and YFL with all these athletes and these hitters.
With some decent coaches.
They would be. Let me tell you something. We will find. Well,
all pro.
We will find out then.
All pro.
I mean, Bacon came through and got with Dallas. So, hey,
listen.
We always said though that Unlimited was going to expose a lot of coaches.
Boy, did it ever. Well, you know what?
So how would y'all say the talent is and MYFA? I mean the competition wise.
Well, Damon doesn't think the competition's too good.
Listen, this is the biggest problem with the competition, and I'm always going to say this: we have too many teams close to each other that's spreading the talent out, that's making MYFA look like an average league. Okay. looking like an average league.
All right, but you have people like Magic who's come over.
Okay, and
I mean, it's a couple.
Can I say one thing? Who the hell did they play in that other league?
All right, well, we're going to talk about the UYFL teams coming to MYFA.
They played Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's kind of a trickle effect because you talk to the AYF guys. They got, Charlie Hill,
Right.
Parkside, Secret Society.
But they're looking for games every
Charm
week.
City. So you got 4 great programs from the city and 1 league.
Oh.
That's all I know.
Right.
And maybe, Old Town. I don't know what Old Town really got. So, Old Town not in AYF.
No,
they're not in AYF. I think they're still in Pop
Warner.
Warner. So you got
still Pop
1 team in Pop Warner. You got 4 teams at AYF. Then you got MYFA. Same thing happening in UC. You got teams moving around, the Bel Airs and my head's jumping to the B division over there. Certain teams moving around. So you see a lot of ducking and dodging
Eric Sorrell
in every league.
Eric Sorrell says Dallas recruits kids in church and tell a parent their child don't play for them, they're going to hell.
Hey, yo. He do go to church with him, too, yo.
And Wade White says 11U is the only competition division in MYFA.
It is. And I just said that.
I don't know.
It is. Think about it. Just go ahead and scan your mind right now.
I think 9U. I think 9U pretty good. 7U
pretty good. Here we go again. Pretty good. The best competition in MYFA right now is at the 11U division.
Well, that's what stands out because you got the tenacity and YFL.
Well, tenacity and other YFL and other divisions too.
Damon says 11U is only 2 teams, and that's going to be tenacity and YFL.
Shit, let me tell you something.
I mean, David, I would agree.
If Eric learn how to coach,
yo, boy.
No, let me tell you something. But if Eric gets serious and get his kids together and find their niche offensively and defensively,
right.
I think
they're pretty big.
I think Eric can surprise some people down the stretch.
Mm-hmm. So it's a 3-horse race, in your opinion? It can be?
It can be.
It can be.
It can be.
But now, that is not what we used to. We used to have a national division that was stacked from top to bottom.
But even listen,
how do you do that,
Donald? Even with that being said, we weren't even in HB. We weren't stacked from top to bottom. We were coached.
Eric told David, "Shut up, B team, David."
D Beetle.
Yeah. David, they gonna ride you on that one, baby.
Hey, but
you ain't no.
But Donald,
David and the Bees ain't don't even sound right.
Even in HB, it was watered down because the further you went out, the slower the team got.
Right.
But what happened was the coaching made the difference.
Right.
Because being a young coach, coaching against dudes that coach high school, that constantly went to clinics, knew their kids, brought them from 6U up. We was up. Me and my group was always at 10, 12.
Right.
So they would bring their group up, and we would struggle sometimes against a slower, weaker Bel Air.
Right, and they were fundamentally sound. Block down.
And just like MOT had talent, but the coaching was far superior. And then once everybody got on that keel, everybody started beating MOT. And MOT said, you know what? We had our 7-8 year run. Let's back the hell out.
Speaking of Delaware teams, we've got Kent County and MYFA and Delaware Ducks and UC. And UC. So these UYFL teams coming over. Let's talk about it. We got about 13 minutes left. These UYFL teams coming on Magic and the Kent County. They came in talking a lot of trash.
Well,
are they up for a rude awakening?
Well, I hear Kent County, some of the, not all, but I say some of the counties can bang.
Real quick, Damon's right. Jody, PH, Locke, Overly, Middle River, Pikesville at 10-12. That was stacked. Stacked up across the bottom. I mean, it was crazy.
That one, but you got to look how
the
many.
Whole division.
Stacked.
Shut up.
What you talking about, stack?
Shut up.
Who the hell won a division?
Listen, man, let me tell you something. You had to come to win every day.
Yeah,
Jody Kidd did some good acting because we won the championship.
I don't see how y'all won a championship.
They did some good acting. And they found out and all of that stuff, man. I got
listen.
But that's the
thing is.
But the UIFL
but think about it. the time that he's talking about, we didn't have all these programs
right
in between us.
That's why I was stacked.
You know,
even I'm sure even in the other leagues, Gary, it probably was more stacked.
It was stacked
because you didn't have these other programs, not just HB.
When I was,
we used to have 10 games scheduled.
There you go.
When I was at Gardenville and we left Metro and came to HB, we was averaging 300, almost 350 kids per year.
I'm talking about even before then when we was in Pop Warner, when you had Rosedale, Overly.
Let me tell you something.
Catonsville, Northwood, Woodlawn.
I'm gonna give you the kicker.
Columbia, Ricerstown.
When I played,
those are all rec teams.
Randstown.
Listen,
rec teams.
Yeah. Listen. When I played, Ole and Gardenville had the two biggest programs around. They had an in-house. That averaged 6 teams per division.
Sean Fisher said 11 UUC is tough too. Middle River, Edgewood, Delaware.
Bullshit. Tell Sean Fisher to take a nap.
Rosedale, Stimbridge.
Tell Sean Fisher. Yeah, Sean's
my man.
Sean Fisher raised the roof, dog. Raise the roof. But when I was coming up, Overland and Gardenville had an in-house division with 6 to 8 teams each division, each age group. These two programs had almost 1,000 kids in each program.
Right.
Yeah.
And they used to have an all-star game. It was probably biggest all-star game you ever been part of. Every age group, all-star game.
Right.
You can't get that no more.
Right.
Overland and Gardenville was. If I didn't play for Overland and Gardenville, the next step was Rosedale.
Yep. Right. That's where we played. That was our neighborhood.
That was it.
And then later on, it was Northwood. They the 4 teams you played for.
Yeah, you played Northwood.
Right.
The thing is, but these was the 4 big groups
around
in East Baltimore.
Yep.
It wasn't all these in-betweens.
It wasn't no in-betweens.
No Eastside Raiders, no Bearcats, no TSA.
The only in-between you had was Oliver.
And that was a rec team.
That was a city league.
Yeah. But it was all rec.
Yeah.
Rec. But we didn't have... I could walk out my door and walk straight to the Crimson Tide field in about 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I live right there next to Bowchecks. I can jump in the car and ride down to Old Town in about 6 minutes.
Right.
I could turn around and drive over to Lake Clifton to Northwood in about 6 minutes.
Few minutes.
Right. It's programs all around me.
Right.
I got kids on my block, and everybody play for somebody different.
Yeah.
And I sit here and laugh.
It's crazy.
Because if all y'all would go down to the Crimson Tide.
Oh my goodness, it'd be stacked.
But the problem is now, you got that young program, no coaching.
Right.
But if the kids and the parents are willing to grow with this program, they're going to be something special.
Yeah. So let's talk about that for like 2-3 minutes,
Go ahead.
Because I know when I started out, y'all came from Mary Dockins.
Right.
Mary Dockins is a true story. You know, she also coached the Bad News Bears.
At the baseball.
The movie was made off of her. So a lot of people don't know that's a true story. So Jody and them, and my brother, and Wayne Washington, and a lot of other guys played for DRAC, played for Mary Dockins. I practiced with them.
Some people don't even know what Mary Dockins is.
They don't even know what they is. I played at 7 years old. Well, I practiced, but I couldn't play in the games. But Jody and them used to hit me full contact. So the coaching that we had,
hitting people like that.
Jody was a beast. That's one of the best backs. So a lot of people don't know that about Jody. They see him in these groups.
Yeah,
he's one of the best athletes from Maryland.
Right.
You know, from the state of Maryland.
Yes, he was.
Before Larry Washington and all them, they had Jody Laws. And the coaching that we had older guys.
Right.
Mr. Bill Mount taught me the power I at 7 years old.
He told me how to smoke a cigar.
Yeah, and that's when they used to smoke cigars. But I talked to a guy the other day. He said, "Well, Gary, the coaching has changed. Coaching got a lot younger. You got guys that's hooking up. They might have played high school, some college, and they get together. And just because you played don't mean you be able to coach. Because the hardest thing that I had to learn from coaching, from playing, because I was one of the best athletes too from state of Maryland.
Right.
And what I had to learn was how to implement what I was taught.
Right.
From, you know, I had coaches like Pompey, Mr. Bill and them, and Stanley Mitchell, and great coaches, you know, from the city. How can I implement what I was taught to these kids?
Right. Passing it.
Yeah. So now you got like a copycat thing. People just coming up with this scheme, and they want to run this, and they want to run that, and they see this on TV, and they want to run that. And I take my hat off to a guy like Dallas, who been running single wing for, you know, Tellos.
Right.
He has a system. He plugs into a system where you got these other guys, let me get the best athlete and just hike him the ball.
Eric Terrell says Jody will be coaching at the Crimson Tide next year. Remember, you heard it first here.
Well, hey, Eric, I was trying to get 12U next year with the Bearcats and bump your ass out of the position.
So said, no, scratch the Bearcats out until they pay their balances they owe. Ooh. Okay.
They'll be listen.
I don't know. Wear white.
They'll be paid. Trust me.
We're wearing white.
Yeah, wearing white.
Actually,
listen.
This is the thing. I just inquired to a program today.
Bearcats don't have a balance, sir. Terrell.
Right.
Listen. I just inquired to a program today about their 12U. Mm-hmm. And they told me they have an interviewing process.
Okay.
Well, the person that told me they got an interviewing process, nigga, I beat you in the championship. Mm-hmm. So why you gonna interview me? I should be interviewing you. Just give me the damn 12U. Sellers, I don't think you're gonna have 12U at Northwood next year.
Jody just moves around. Want to say this though, just to keep this on the back of that. December 6th to the 8th, I said. Yeah. NYST Radio will be in Florida.
We'll be in Florida.
Following the game. Broadcasting live.
I'll be out there getting a tan and smelling like bacon.
Myself, Jody, Gary, and I think maybe Brandon Davis will be flying down to Florida, taking NYST Radio on the road, and we'll be broadcasting live to bring it to you there.
But to be honest with you, I think I'm done with youth football.
Man, it's crazy.
I'm enjoying watching the younger coaches.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying watching, from my view, watching my kids come up in football. I mean, to me, I don't care where they play it on the field.
Less than 5 minutes, guys.
Long as they learn the game and enjoy themselves. Like, I hear parents saying, my son should be a running back. I don't give a f. As long as my son do good in school, football is like a small part of it.
Let's talk about this. What changes in 2019 for football? What do we see? Do we see UC growing, or do we see MYFA grow? What do we see?
I see UC and MYFA growing. And eventually, listen, as teams push from here and go to UC, you're going to have teams come from somewhere else coming to MYFA.
Right.
We are now the UC feeder system.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's only going to be the outskirt teams that's going to go to somewhere like UC, because UC ain't going to take no hood rats.
Right.
So we're going to be the hoodlums. They're going to be bougie.
Does Edgewood and Stenbridge come to MYFA?
Edgewood is going to come to MYFA.
Okay.
I think that helps them out better than being in UC.
What about Stenbridge?
I think Stenbridge will. I think they do want to make a move because of the Middle River move. Mm-hmm. I don't think they want to be nowhere near Middle River because it hurts their kids.
Does Northwood go to UC?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They may.
I can see that happening because you got to realize, once their talent level fall off, Norfolk going to struggle.
Right.
But does Norfolk want to do that traveling every week?
Well, they got parents with a couple of dollars over there. Because I went over Lake and I seen a whole bunch of trash on all them snacks they be buying them kids. So I know they got gas money. Hey, Norfolk, clean up the parking lot, you dirty bastards.
It just changed. You know, you know, we got a few minutes, but you changed with the social media. You got people, you know, you can't even scrimmage no more. You know, if you get a scrimmage, it's all on the internet.
In 2019, do UC and MYFA sit down and start doing crossover games?
I think so. Charles Fisher says, I feel you, Jody. It ain't fun no more. Parents have ruined for most of that have 10 to 15 years or more under their belt.
Listen, it's not the parents. It's the younger coaches feeding the parents BS.
Okay.
And when we get certain kids, those parents been fed so much BS that we got to deal with it.
Right.
And we feel as though, as being a veteran coach, being a veteran coach, that we actually got to talk to this parent. This is why you got to team up.
Right.
And you find a liaison for your team to talk to the parent.
Right.
I don't think a coach should really be involved in really talking to parents, because this is where things go haywire. Because, see, somebody say, Coach Donald said my son was going to be running back, but Coach Jody put him on the line. We don't need all that. And you young coaches, stop buying these kids and stop buying them VC bucks for Fortnite. Listen, because this is how some coaches are getting their kids.
Right.
Stop buying these kids, because what the kid's going to think that's going to happen to him the rest of his life is that people can buy them out, make them earn their way.
William White is running ahead and says, do no business with the Homeboy League.
Which William White is this?
William White.
Is this KD?
No, William White that jump around.
Yeah, KD.
Yeah.
The one that, when they lost to, which name, ran to them, and
Yeah.
that little punk bastard need to go somewhere.
William.
The Homeboy League, because the homeboys don't like you because you ain't one of us.
Oh, my gosh. Homeboy League or not, man, it's all about the kids.
I'm going to tell you what people hate about the Homeboy League. It's all family.
Yeah.
It's all family.
I say it a little bit more than
Yeah, shout out to my Bad Cat family, Rob Gaines, Brandon.
Hey, look, listen, I went to the game yesterday, didn't even notice I had on a green shirt.
Yeah, he had a green shirt on.
I felt as though I was home.
But our atmosphere was great yesterday.
Great atmosphere.
Great atmosphere.
Chicken,
No problem.
Chicken tastes a little bit like fish.
I said, Jody, they go hard. They cooking the chicken and the fish cream. Damn, bro.
Hey, yo.
We had a good atmosphere.
My damn buffalo wing tastes like a buffalo trout.
He said, Jody, I'm ready to pull up in that dead with the fist.
Who said that?
William White.
Boy, you can't even see. Shut up. Little short ass. Your arms too short to fight with God, boy. Sit your ass down.
Hey, man, it's NYST Radio. We thank you. We're back. We'll be here every Sunday, and we'll let you know what it is, man. I'd like to shout out my host, Jody, Coach G, Bearcats. Shout out to everybody that checked in with us. Sean Fisher, Damon Hayes, William White, Kusa, Eric Sorrell.
Hey, cool.
I see that little crack, Eric Sorrell. I got you. Everybody, man. Everybody that checked in with us. All my UC family, man, that was on here, man. I know some of y'all didn't comment, but get in. We want to hear your 2 cents in. Everybody, man. We going to get it in. We going to build it up, man. We going to be hooking up with Kusa for the morning show.
Got you.
Yeah.
And doing something with him, man. We're going to spit it off, man. And next week, we're going to tell you where we at. We're going to be out on the road next week somewhere, man. And it is what it is, man. But everybody, chill out, man. Get ready for the work week, your practice week. And get ready for some football tonight, man. I'm going to go and cook some dinner and get ready for the football.
Go home, man. Shit.
UC over everybody. William White.
Oh, here he go. Another ball rider.
Hey, man, we out of here. Check us out later. Hey, and you can go listen to the show in its entirety in the new locker room. We'll put it in the UC and the new locker room. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.